Right, hi everyone, Chris here, 2E0UKH, just messing about in the shack here, and this video is sponsored by Andrew. No, I'm joking. Put the video out yesterday or the day before, and it was quite popular. A lot of people got back to me, even more emails and questions coming back. But someone contacted me, I'll just call him Andrew, that's his real name, but I won't say where he is. But I couldn't believe it. I was so grateful, because how my videos had helped him. He dropped some money in my bank account, so he donated towards the channel, so I was absolutely blown away. And it inspired me to do a second part to this video, just tinkering with the code plug we've made and adding some channels to it, and getting it just how you want it. Now, the code plug we made before was very basic. It was just one channel, and most of it was about setting up your radio beforehand, updating stuff. But I do have a helper on the channel. I do have a technical advisor, Norman. He's very good. He points out anything. I ask him to go over everything with a fine-tooth comb, and he just had a few suggestions to make the code plug better. I mean, they're fairly obvious things, but we're going to add them today. And I also wanted to say, very importantly, in the video before, when you update the firmware, you must reset initialize the radio. So at 16 minutes 40 in the last video, from the radio in the off position, switch it on, pressing transmit and the button below, and then switch it on holding in them two buttons, and it will initialize blank the radio, and it will just say, do you want to initialize it, and you press yes, and then you've got to set the date. So that was one step I missed out, although it did work, didn't it? So but that's a suggestion there. Initialize the radio, it's most important. And we were talking about comports, and I had emails saying I haven't got Comport 6. Well, if I put that USB in a different socket on my computer, it would come up with a different Comport, and yours would have a different number altogether. So basically, if you see a Comport number, it's working. If you don't see a number, it's not connected. So use the old method. Just pull the USB out and put it back in again. So I'm going to load up the code plug and make a few alterations. Right, so we're just going to load up the software for the Anytone. And we're going to put in the code plug we had in before. The software remembers the last code plug you were working on, so this is my code plug I was working on before, and I'm just going to put a few suggestions in that Norman said. Very good points, actually. I mean, the previous one was just to get you up and running. We're just going to fine tune it and get it working a bit better and polish it up a bit. And if I go into optional settings, I'm just going to scan over some of the other settings. Actually, I've got it on full brightness. I like the backlight on all the time, and I like the menu when you press a menu button, you don't want it to disappear before you've thought of what to alter. I like to set that on for longer, and nothing else in there. And in work mode, I personally do not use one line on the top and one on the bottom. I prefer to turn off the bottom line, so I turn off the sub channel. You don't have to do that, it just makes the screen less cluttered. And there's nothing in these: alerts, display, GPS. This is a good one. If you're in search mode, you can alter the limits. So if you were using this as a scanner, you can set different limits here for the different bands. So if you wanted to search for something out of band and use it as a digital scanner, you could set the lower in here and the upper limit there. Power saving, best to turn the power saving off. I may have altered that on the radio, but always have power saving off. You get slightly less battery, but it stops it. You know, if someone makes a call, you know, you don't hear it immediately. It makes it respond quicker. And in digital fun, what have we got in here? There was something else I wanted to add. So a couple of other things to alter. Excuse me. You can alter the power on message. You have to alter this to custom characters. And you can highlight these cells, press delete and they'll go away. And then click on the first cell, I'll click on the lower one. And you just start typing and the cursor will move across on its own. So you can put a boot up message on there, which is pretty cool. And if you go to other, you can set a talk out timer. If you had it on 30 seconds, you'd be talking away and it'd unkey automatically. So you don't want it on too long. Set it at about 180 and press OK to accept those changes. Right, so I'm just going to put in a few more digital talk groups and create a couple of channels and link them to the new talk groups. Under digital, there's talk groups section on the left, and I'm going to click on that cell on number 2 and add another talk group. I'm going to put in there 3100. It's group call, and the actual ID number, the phone number, think of it like a phone number, goes in there. The ID number 3100. That's USA nationwide. You can give it a better name if you want. I'm just trying to do it quickly. So 3100 is in there. And in number 3, I'm going to put 2350 group call and type in 2350 there. That's the UK call-in. So I've got 3 talk groups there, and that's my existing channel that's linked to TAC 310. And the quickest way to do this is to right mouse click and copy that line and paste it into there, the next one down, and also paste it into there. So I've got 3 channels now, all identical, and you can go in and edit those channels. So we're going to call that one 3100. And the digital talk group that is linked to at the moment is TAT310, because that's what we made the other day. I click on that and I can click on that one, and it's now changed 3100. All the other parameters are the same as before, so that's good. So we've got 310, 3100, and I'm just going to alter this last one. So I'll call that 2350. And I'm going to link it to 2350. Double click on that. So the channel is linked to 2350. So you can keep repeating this, making talk groups, adding channels, using the copy and paste method, and link it to other talk groups. So we've made the digital talk groups and contacts, linked them to channels. Now I'm going to put in some analog FM channels. I'll put in 1 repeater and 1 simplex channel. So it depends how you want to organise your code plug. I like to have all the digital stuff together and all the analog stuff together. But this code plug I'm building is not going to be very big. So I'm going to put an analog channel here. I'll put the UK 2 meter call-in frequency in there. So I'm going to give it a name. I'll call it 2 meter call-in frequency. And the receive frequency is 145.5. It's got to be 5 digits. Everything after the decimal point has got to be 5 digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to copy that. I've mucked it up, but I don't think it copied it. Oh, it did. Press enter, and then I'm going to paste it in there. You can just type them in. I'm trying to be quick, but it didn't really save any time, did it? Right, so frequencies in, and I've got to change it to analog FM. So that's now analog. Might as well have it on high power, and I'll put it on wide. And all this section at the bottom is for analog. This is a simplex frequency, so I don't need any CTTS tones or anything. CTC SS tones. So that channel's made. That's an analog simplex one. That's gone in 30. And slightly more complicated, but not much. I'm going to put a repeater in here. And I'm going to put my local repeater in here. Give it the name GB3CO. Receive frequency 145.6625. And I'm just going to add a 0 on to make it 5 digits. Press enter. A transmit frequency. In the UK it's always -600. So that will be 145.0625. Put a 0 in. Press enter. So we've got the frequencies sorted out. It's got to be analog. And I might as well have it on high power. And I'll put it on wide. And now we've just got to put in the tones. So for transmitting, it's encoding. Decoding is receiving. So my repeater has CTC SS tones, and the tone is 77. So no need to alter any of this stuff. I'm just double checking that because it's getting more complicated. Encode, that's sending. Yeah. Decoding is receiving. Some repeaters need a tone to receive it as well. A bit like the old cell call when you put a code in so you can receive it. But this one's just a basic repeater. And I'll click OK. So I've made the repeater and it's gone in there. Now, if I wrote this to the radio, you wouldn't see these channels I've put in. So I'm going to add them to the zone I made before. So there's clicking on zone. There's my zone called hotspot. You know, it's not actually going to contain hotspot, just hotspot ones now. It's going to contain a mixture, but you could call that local. This could now be the zone you use all the time for your local area. You can make another zone for you when you go on holiday and put all the local stuff in there. So I've got TAC 310 in. I'm going to add 3100, 2350, 2 meter call in, and GB3CO. So they've all gone in here, and I'll click OK. And now I'm going to send it to the radio. Now, not sure if it's picked up the the Comport, excuse me, but you can check that by going to setcom, and it is connected, Comport 6, but the radio's on. If it doesn't show there, you can pull it out, push it back in again. If I take it out and put it in another Comport, so I've just took it out, if I put it in another Comport, it's not recognised. I'm just showing you that the number changes. So I've pulled it out, pushed it back in again. And it's not picking that one up. That's probably why I used that USB actually. For Comport 6. You know, you find some of these PCs are a bit iffy. So it doesn't like that USB socket, so that's why I used, it's the one on the left hand side. So I plug that in, that one works. If it doesn't work, try different Comports. Also pull the wire out and back in again. So we're now communicating. Now see that not responding. You know, that can be a problem sometimes. Now that's interesting. I was just about to send it to the radio. I clicked OK. I clicked OK twice and the program froze. I didn't touch anything and it's come back to normal. So I just need to check that zone. Check everything's still there. So this software is not perfect. That's why they keep altering it. But if you get that error not responding, or it freezes, just wait and it will come back. I'm glad that did that actually, because it happened to me the other day. And I think all I did was I clicked OK twice. You know, that's what beta testers do. They go through the software looking trying to break the software where it expects a number, you type a letter. When you click OK, you click it 20 times and see if it causes an error. So that was a little problem with the software there, and I'm going to write it to the radio now. Hopefully it's still connected after that error. So you can tick and untick these things. Other data is all the channel information and everything. And when you change your user database, you would tick this one, digital contacts, and you can untick it again the next time you use it. Right, so I've switched the radio on. I'm in the zone called hotspot. Select zone. So I'm in the hotspot zone, and you can see all the channels are there that I put in. Starting from the beginning, I've got my TAC 310 there, 3100, 2350, there's the channel number there, 22, and I've got the UK call-in frequency, and I've got the repeater there. I think it'll open it. I'm only on a tiny aerial, it opened it a minute ago. But you can see it alter it. It does work, take my word for it, it does work. Now have you noticed it's not coming up with the nice name I gave it? And if you go into menu and go to settings, radio set, you've got channel name, and you can set it to, by default it's on frequency. And if I alter it to channel, it should come up with the nice labelling, the naming I gave it. So there you go, look, GB3CO in the zone called hotspot. And it's nice and uncluttered because I took away the sub-band at the bottom. You can bring the sub-band back again if you go to menu, settings, I think is it in radio set? Let's have a look. Sub-band. Sub-channel they call it on here. So if I switch that back on, I don't want to, you would see the bottom line. So going through all my channels, you can see there's TAC 310, 3100, 2350, and a couple of Analogue. There's the simplex one, and that's the repeater. I'm sure I can open that. I'll do it off the camera, hold on. Anyway, it's a bit of a crap aerial on there, but it does work. I did it earlier. So that's everything done. And I just wanted to, I'll just take the, might be a bit jerky, take the camera off the tripod, try and keep it smooth. I just wanted to show you the rest of the shack. I've got the 7100 there and 7300 there with an LDG auto tuner. Got my old sign there, and got some scanners and bits and bobs up there. Okay, right, 7.3, and thanks for watching 2E0 UKH.